What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Bunny Films, and today we're back with another Farming and Friends video.
So today we're going to be comparing the best chocolate milk setup in Farming and Friends, which has 32 cows, to the best bee setup in Farming and Friends with 42 bees. And hopefully by the end of the video, we will know whether chocolate milk is better or worse than bees. So over here we have 32 cows, we have an automatic barn, we have a tanker that can hold up to 180 milk, and we have plenty of animal feed. So over here we also have a field of 480 cocoa trees, which is the optimal number for having 32 cows. So here we have a lot of cocoa, 32 cows, and chocolate milk factory. We are ready to make some chocolate milk. So we're going to go ahead and time it to see how long it takes for us to make money with chocolate milk. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to start it now. We're going to start by milking all of our cows, all 32 of them. So let's go ahead and get some of them sent into the automatic barn like this. There we go. Come on. We can fit, I think, up to 12 cows in here at a time. And we do have 32 cows, so we do have to make a few trips, but there are 12 stalls here. So let's get them in there. We also have the dog. I don't know where the dog went. We had a dog. The dog's gone. But let's go ahead, get all of these cows milked. We already have the tanker out there, so that's going to make it easier. Just automatically deposits the milk into there. But we're going to go ahead and try to do this as quickly as possible to simulate a very, very efficient chocolate milk setup, because I made this to be the best chocolate milk setup you can build in the game. Now, of course, one could say that their chocolate milk setup is better, but basically I have the max cows, I have the best barn, the best equipment, so it's the best chocolate milk setup. Maybe yours is better because you have like 20 barns and I only have one, I don't know. But anyways, that's not the point of the video. Let's go ahead and keep getting cows sent into the barn really quickly. Let's go ahead and lasso them and do that over and over and over. So if we see any cows that are at 300%, we need to make sure they get milked because they have a lot of free range milk, or what is it called? I don't know what it's called. What's the milk called? Free range milk. So let's go ahead and get this entire row here milked as well. There we go. There we go. And we still have to get the cocoa so we can actually make the chocolate milk. But right now we have the milk part taken care of with all these cows. And we do have that massive cocoa field just waiting to be harvested. So we have to harvest this entire field because it is the exact amount we need, 480 cocoa. So we're going to try and do this pretty efficiently, but it's not going to be exactly perfect. We'll see. So we're going to pick up this last row of cocoa here. That way we can go ahead and make the chocolate milk and get it sold. So we're going to go ahead and deposit all 480 into the factory, and now we are ready to make the chocolate milk. So let's go ahead, start making the chocolate milk. As you can see, the factory is running. We can go ahead and move to this station here, the little stomper station. Then you have like the cocoa grinder here. So it makes all this powder stuff that floats in the air like that. Super fancy. And finally, we have this lever here, which makes it into the milk. So let's go ahead and walk outside really quickly and check in on our truck. As you can see, it is completely filling up. Well, not completely, but it is filling up. And on this side of the building, we can actually see how many ingredients remain. And as you can see, we had the correct ratio of cows to cocoa. That's why hardly any remains. So let's go ahead and head to the store with our 19 jugs of chocolate milk, and we're going to see what the price is. So looking at the price here, chocolate milk is actually at an average price of 21,000 per jug. So let's get it sold at that price. So 19 jugs sell for 432,000 coins. I rounded up just a little bit. But now we know the time it took to make the chocolate milk and how much money we made. So we'll do the math at the end of the video and we'll come to the conclusion to see whether chocolate milk is better than bees or not. So before we compare the best bee setup in the game, I want to go ahead and use a really basic setup with only 12 bees, because that's the maximum number of bees you can have on your farm before you spend bonds to actually upgrade the capacity like I did over here. So here we have 12 bees, and they're going to produce a total of 48 honeycombs, and those 48 honeycombs will go ahead and produce 2 pallets. So it's pretty easy to predict how much money we can make from only having 12 bees. It's pretty simple math, but we're going to still go ahead and do this part of the video. So we have a stack of 48 honeycombs here. It would be better if we used 2 factories. However, we're only using 1 factory just because, well, like, it's a very basic setup. You only can afford 1 factory in this scenario, even though I have 2. So we're about to fill the final barrel of honey. Once we get the rest of, I think that's the last one we need, last honeycomb, there we go. So that's going to produce a total of 2 pallets of honey, which in retrospect isn't very much, and it's definitely not better than chocolate milk. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to take these 2 pallets and get them loaded up onto the truck, and then we're going to take them to the store and sell them. And as you can see, the price for honey is actually pretty decent. It's at 25,000 coins per pallet. So that's going to make us a total of 53,000 coins from just 2 pallets of honey. But now we have to go ahead and use the best bee setup in the game. And I say it's the best. However, it sort of is, it sort of isn't. It has 42 bees, and that's pretty good. And now it is time to go ahead and test out the best bee setup in Farming and Friends. So behind me, let's do a bit of an overview of what I have. We have 2 factories. Each factory has 3 hives for a total of 6 hives, and each hive has 7 bees. So if you do the math, 6 times 7 is 42 total bees on my farm. And we're going to be harvesting honey from every single hive. We're going to be using both factories, and we're going to be filling up those flatbeds and seeing how long it takes. So let's go ahead and begin. We are going to start harvesting the hives, and it's going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot of honey everywhere. And I want to get, oh my gosh, okay, so honey is going everywhere, but I want to get stuff placed in the factory already so that it will start making honey as we are harvesting it. So let's go ahead and we're going to make a massive pile of it in the factory. And when I say it's the best setup, it's not necessarily the best setup, because the thing is, there is no limit to how many bees you can have on your farm. So basically, you can have like 100 bees on your farm or even more if you have enough bonds to buy the upgrades. So this isn't necessarily the best setup, but it's the best setup I've seen in Farming and Friends. Therefore, that's why I'm saying it's the best setup. So both of the factories are producing pallets. All of the beehives are completely empty. So all we have to do is wait, and as the pallets get produced, we have to load them onto the flatbeds. So a little quick check-in. Right now we have 1 pallet out there already. We're making a 2nd pallet here. Here is a look at the stacks of honeycombs. As you can see, they've slightly dwindled down. We might have a few dirty hives that we have to clean, so we'll do that as well. So the bees keep producing honey at a normal rate, so let's clean them really quickly like that. Perfect. So both factories are out. This one's up to 2 because we started this one a bit earlier, but we're gonna probably produce, I think in total we're gonna produce 7 pallets. So this factory here has produced its final pallet. Even though there's still some honey left, some honeycombs out there, that is gonna go ahead and produce half a pallet, which we will factor into our calculations once we do them at the end of the video. Because again, with the setup of 42 bees and having 2 separate factories, if you had 1 factory, they would make 7 pallets, but because the stacks of honeycombs are split, each factory is only going to make 3.5 instead, because 7 divided by 2 is 3.5, which isn't a whole number. And of course, you can't sell half a pallet, but again, it's still going to be something we calculate in our numbers. So let's go ahead, pick up this final pallet, and there are still honeycombs and the factories are still running, but that's okay. And also we can't fit this pallet on there because it's full. So we're going to take these 5 pallets of honey to the store and sell them really quickly. And I know we're missing the 6th pallet, but we can do the math off the top of our head and figure out how much it's worth. But after we do this, we're going to go ahead and do the math and figure out what is the best way to make money. Is it chocolate milk? Or is it honey? And of course, we still have to compare honey to potatoes, but I think my current setup of honey still underperforms when compared to how much money you can make from potatoes. So price of honey is pretty average. It's like 23,000 coins a piece. So let's go ahead, park under here, sell it for 121,000 coins. And if we do the math for the 6th pallet, it's about 145,000, I think. So there you have it, everyone. We've gone ahead and compared the best honey setup to the best chocolate milk setup, and now it's time to go ahead and do the math to figure out what is the best way to make money. So now that we have the numbers, let's go ahead and do the math to figure out how much money we make per hour with chocolate milk. So with the best setup, you are going to be making 1,920,000 coins per hour just making chocolate milk. And that is like using 32 cows, 480 cocoa trees, and then an average sell price of around 22,500 coins. Now, if we go ahead and look at the base bee setup, you're only going to be making up to 220,000 coins per hour with 12 bees and 6 hives, because you're only making about 2 pallets every 15 minutes or 8 pallets every hour. Now, if we take a look at the best bee setup, which I used on my farm with 42 bees, that makes 168 honeycombs every 15 minutes. However, with an average sell price of around 27,500 coins per pallet, I'm only going to be making 770,000 coins per hour, therefore making chocolate milk better than bees. So that means comparing my best bee setup over here to my chocolate milk setup over here that I didn't spend any bond monies on, basically this makes 2.5 times more money than my bee setup. And I haven't done the math yet, so I don't know how many bees you would need to actually make your bee setup better than chocolate milk, but the debate is finally over. Chocolate milk is better than bees. Now, I think my next video definitely needs to be on potatoes. Maybe we're going to compare potatoes to bees. However, there is still the debate whether potatoes are better than chocolate milk or not. I really think they are, though. Again, I don't really know the math off the top of my head, but I made a video about that a long time ago. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. There are a few things you can consider, though, like comparing bees to cows. Like one person in the Dun Games Discord server pointed out how bees, you can make money from them while you're AFK, or not like make money, but like you can AFK them. Whereas with cows, you can't really AFK them because you have to constantly be milking them and harvesting chocolate milk or cocoa trees, excuse me. So the process for cows is a lot more labor intensive compared to making honey, because with honey, all you have to do is harvest honey from the hives, keep them clean, and then load the pallets onto the trucks, and that's it. But with chocolate milk, you have to tend to an entire field of cocoa trees, you have to tend to cows, you have to milk the cows, and there's a lot more equipment involved. So let me know what you think in the comment section, but the debate is finally settled. Chocolate milk is better than bees.